to my kitchen. Since it is spring, guess what time of year it is? It is time for strawberries. Today we're going to make strawberry scones. And I've already made them once and they're really good. So, to start out, you want to get 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar. And you want to mix that together with them just to get it mixed up. Set that aside. Okay, so once you get everything in your dry ingredients, you're going to want to cube up 6 tablespoons of butter. And you want it to be straight out of the refrigerator. It's gotta be super cold. So, I'm just gonna cut this up. You want to add this to your flour. Now, if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend getting one because I think it really makes a big difference when you're trying to cut in butter versus using a fork. But if you don't have one, fork will work, but I highly recommend it. All right, so now you just start cutting in the butter into your flour. All right, so what you want to do is dice up some strawberries. And local berries are always way better than berries that are shipped in. So as soon as they come available, I always got to get at least a half flat to start. Nothing beats a fresh strawberry shortcake. So why not a strawberry shortcake scone? I personally would just do a cup-ish of strawberries. A few more is not gonna hurt nothing. Except make them taste better. Alright, so then once you get your strawberries cut, you want to pour them in the flour and kind of mix them a little bit to cover them. A little bit of the flour. And then what you're going to do is mix in 3/4 of a cup of half and half. Just slowly, you don't, just enough to get it to start to stick together. See how crumbly that is? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flour our countertop just slightly. Get it all off there. And then kind of, you don't really want to knead it, I'm gonna kind of just squeeze it together into a ball. milk. All right, so you kind of want to just pour that on there. I've never really been a scone eater, but after trying these, they're really good. All right, so just kind of squish it together to get it to form. You just don't want to overwork it because you don't want the butter chunks to melt. But gotta get that dry stuff in there. So, I'm going to get the dough off my hands. Lightly flour it a little more, and then you're going to want to just press it out into a rectangle and leave it about 1 inch thick. Once that's done, you want your pizza cutter, and you want to get a cookie sheet, and you can use parchment paper. I'm out, so I'm just going to spray my pan really well. Make sure it's nice and greased. Kind of in thirds. Get 3. Those in half. So they're not real terribly big, but they're perfect size for a cup of coffee, and so we'll put these on our pan. So the goal is to get 12 squares, or triangles, excuse me. So then once you get them on your plate, that they look good, you're going to want to bake them in a preheated 425-degree oven for 16 to 18 minutes. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so they're done cooking. Don't those look really good? We'll let them cool till they're completely cold, and then we will frost them. So stay tuned. All right, so now that our scones are cool, we're gonna go ahead and make our icing. So you want to have 2½ cups of powdered sugar. And we're gonna do a ½ teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. My vanilla bottle had a little bit of an accident, so put it in this, but it actually makes it a little bit easier. So a ½ teaspoon of vanilla. And it doesn't call for it, but if you want your icing to get a little bit harder quicker, you can add a little bit of meringue powder, and so that's what I'm going to do. Just add about a tablespoon, and it'll make your frosting get solid quicker. If you ever see those cookies that have that frosting that gets like hard, That's usually what they make it out of, or royal icing. But okay, and then you want a quarter of a cup of half and half. So I'm going to mix together. Put in your half and half, and just mix it together until it's smooth. And if it's too thin, just add a little more powdered sugar. If it's too thick, add a little more half and half. The thing about using meringue powder though, if you decide to make your icing while they're cooling, you need to keep it covered with a piece of cling wrap or something because it will start to get hard. So, to prevent that. Okay. Icing. Good. Okay, now what you can do is just using your whisk, start to drizzle, and I put my cooling rack on the cookie sheet so that all the drips will be caught. You can use a piece of parchment paper. And this way you can put however much frosting that you want. Alright, now we're going to let them sit for a little bit and let the icing harden up, and then we're going to take a bite and see how they taste. Alright, so it's been a while, and here's what the final product looks like. You have the meringue powder, makes the frosting nice and stiff, and you don't have to worry about it sticking to each other and coming off. So let's see what they look like inside. Ooh. Looks yummy, huh? Really good. Alright, well, homemade strawberry shortcake scones. Thanks for watching. Bye.